The Friday Morning Rant with Shane Halfyard contains adult themes, adult language, satire, humor, and pretty much anything that isn't PC. So if you can't handle that, then piss off, Jack. You're at the wrong podcast. It is the Friday Morning Rant with Shane Halfyard. And it is Friday, August the 9th, 2019. So, my wife and son are back from the Philippines. Yay! And for those of you who might have missed an episode or two, they went there for 2 weeks because my wife's mother passed away and she went to, pay her respects, do the whole funeral thing, all that jazz. Now, I never met this woman, but I bet she was a great lady. I only saw her enough to say hi to her online, when my wife was, doing the whole video chat. So, for me, the loss was I never got to know her. It didn't hit me the way, of course, it hit my wife and my son. They were devastated. For me, it was just, I feel bad, but I mainly felt bad for my wife and my son. Just being honest about my feelings, folks. That's it. So, of course, we rushed them over there and we got it done. My wife originally knew we couldn't afford her to go. It cost about $3,500 to send her, plus paying for the funeral, plus staying there, plus food, all that jazz, right? It all costs money. Everything costs money. But we are part of the Filipino community, and they helped. I had friends, and they helped, and everybody helped and donated. And again, thank you, folks. She went, everything's done, and it's back. She's back. Thanks a lot. So, the reason why I made her go, because literally I had to make her go, is I explained to her that it isn't about, burying your mother. It isn't even about really saying goodbye to your mother. You can do that from here. You really can. I mean, she could have sent the money for the funeral, and then she could have went to church and prayed for her mother and said goodbye, and, she could have gotten that kind of closure. In my humble opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I could anyway as a person. And I think she felt she could too because she didn't want to go to the Philippines. But I explained to her that it wasn't really about going for her mother's sake or for her sake. It's about going for her father's sake. Because now he's alone. Right? My wife, Girlie, is the only child they've had. So, he has cousins and, people will stop in and say hi, but it's not the same. And she knows it. And I told her that. I said, it's about getting there, taking care of him, seeing him through this, and then asking him if he wants to come to Canada. And so she was happy about that part, where we're going to save up for and try to sponsor him to live with us in Canada. Because he'll be 70 this year, and he should be with his family, people that will take care of him. Screw it. Let's just add another cup of water to the soup. That's what I say. So, that's our plan now. We're working on bringing him over. It's going to take time. Might take up to a year, but that's our goal. So, I put, perusing through the old YouTubes. And I came across two people. One I just came across. But the other one, it was like, what happened? Let's talk about grade A under A. Okay? I don't know what's going on with him. He keeps coming back. He keeps disappearing. He comes back. He disappears. He comes back. He disappears. And it pissed me off. I mean, I literally unsubscribed because of that. If he is going, he says at one point he was going through depression. And if he is, I am sorry for you, buddy. I hope you're getting the help you need. And if that is the case, take all the time you need to come back. But maybe just give us an update once in a while. Because I really enjoyed your content. I liked you a lot. I still do. I just, like I said, once a month, just, you don't even have to animate it. Just Just don't even make anything move pictures. Just do what I do. Just stick a picture on there and give us a 2-minute thing saying, I'm okay. I'm sorry I'm not here in contact, or I'm still going through this, or an update on how everything's going. If you're going through therapy for your depression, say, I'm going through this. Just give us a little update once in a while. That would be great. Let us know that you're still out there. Or you know what? Even just say you're done. I can respect that. No one says that YouTubing is you have to do it for life. And you just said, guys, look, I'm dealing with my depression. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with that, and I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. That'd be all right. I would totally be on board for that. This isn't a hate rant about your grade A. This is just what's going on, and I hope you're okay, rant. There's another fellow I came across. His name is Vegan Gains. Now, I don't know if you guys know who this guy is or not. Holy hell. He scares me. Alright, he is the most aggressive vegan I have ever met. Well, I didn't meet him. Why am I saying met? What the hell's wrong with me? Oh my god, I'm dumb. He's the most aggressive vegan I've ever seen on YouTube. I don't know why I said met, folks. Just scratch that out of there. Never met him. But he is, yes, the most aggressive vegan I've ever seen on YouTube, ever heard of. And it is just scary, some of the shit he says. He's threatening to kill people. He's spinning sides around. He's flexing his little muscles. And yes, I call them little muscles vegan. I'm sorry, but, you're in shape, but you're not a big dude. Okay? I don't consider you a big dude. Right? In my prime, I was 250 pounds of muscle, so I look at you and go, "Aw, isn't that cute?" Of course, right now I'm a big fat tub of shit vegan, so you could probably take me. But anyway, yeah, this dude's just... I mean, I hope it's an act. I hope it's just part of his channel, because, if I was even leaning towards becoming a vegan, seeing this guy's psychopathic rant has made me go, nope. That's because he's not eating enough meat. He's gone fucking crazy. Yeah. I went there. Yeah, I did. This guy. But again, it's probably an act. I mean, same as me. I'm not this mouthy in real life. This is just my act, my persona, my online traits. I mean, you want to get a good idea about the real me, go check out my other, called Little Shane's Vlogs, and you'll see my big fat face, and you'll realize I'm just a giant man-child. Yeah. Oh, my God. But yeah, so vegan dating, you need to calm the hell down. So when my wife got back, we finally started watching Game of Thrones, the final season. Okay? We just started watching it last night. I waited for it to go down a little bit in price on DVD, and then I bought it. Because I don't have HBO, and I avoid downloading movies at all costs, because I just feel, if you really like something, you should purchase it. And I know that you can buy digital copies of stuff, but I hate doing that. I like to see and hold the product I bought, so I don't buy digital copies of much. I do it on the PlayStation, for some PlayStation 1 games, simply because the price for them, on like eBay or whatever, are outrageous, and I don't want to pay, $80 for a game I owned back in 1997, which I paid less than $80 for new. So I will do it then. But if I can get a decent deal on DVD, I will buy the DVDs. It's just, I don't know, it's just the way it is. A long time ago, when I was teaching Kung Fu and Sambo, all my students were talking about all the songs they download, all the movies they download, and I said, dude, you are literally putting people out of business. And they were like, no, they're multi-billion-dollar businesses, they can take it. I said, no, they can't. Right? I said, they could take it if one person did it, but almost everybody's doing it. These places are going to shut down. I said, like, the video rental stores, they're going to go. And of course, they were younger than me, so they thought they knew more. and they ignored me. And lo and behold, 3 years later, they're all shutting down. Blockbusters was gone. Jumbo Video actually hung in there a long time. And I used to go every weekend. And that is one of the thrills of my childhood. Do you guys remember just taking your kids to, or being, as a kid, being taken to a video store rental like Blockbusters, Jumbo Video, Video King, whichever one was your thing, right? And renting a movie? Wasn't that like one of the most exciting things you could do? When your dad or mom say, hey, we're going to go get a movie, buddy, and you get to pick one. And you're just like, oh, yes, the shit. And you were down there, and you got to look. It was aisles and aisles of cartoons and horror movies and action movies, and you could walk down all these aisles and you could look, right? And then you could pick up, read the back of it, and go, oh my god, this is the one, right? And you go and rent it. And the best was you could rent video games, right? You could rent a video game for the weekend. Sometimes my parents would say, well, do you want to rent a movie or do you want to rent a game? Like, I want a game. Because a movie, you watch it once, it's done. But a game, you can keep playing that shit for the whole weekend. Oh, yeah. And then they came up with weekend rentals when I was a kid for video games. $5, and you could get it from Friday night until Sunday at 2 p.m. And I'm like, I am there. And then I didn't do anything else that weekend. It was just me and my best friend Chris playing games all weekend. Chris, if you remember that, put it in the comments. But that's what we did. We'd get like Mega Man, and we'd like, playing that shit like till it was just gone. And he and I never actually beat Mega Man together. That game was just really effing hard after a while. But anyway, yeah. So that's what we bought, the Game of Thrones. And we watched the first 2 episodes last night, right? And I have no idea what's going on, so don't spoil it for me in the comments, okay? Just watching it. But I'm like checking it out, and I saw something I didn't want to see. It showed Arya getting naked. I'm like, what are you doing? You were like 12 when this show started. Stop. It's like, Jesus. It's like, how could the guys filming it? Like, they literally watched her grow up. How could they film that? I couldn't do it. Jesus. And that's why I'm not in showbiz, folks. Well, yeah, it's getting, pretty interesting. I just, I have a theory who's going to be the next king. I think it's going to be that kid in the wheelchair. The kid that has all the weird visions and shit. I think he's going to be in charge. That's my theory. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's my theory. I don't, because the obvious everyone wants it to be is the Jon Snow and that blonde hair chick there, the one that's the one that's the one that has a real fucking temper. Holy hell, does she ever have a nasty temper? I wouldn't want to work for her. Always threatening to get rid of members of her court and family and all that stuff because she's all mad. Like, Jesus, woman, calm the fuck down. Your men are human, and since they're human, they're gonna make mistakes. Jesus. But anyway, like I said, it looks like 2 episodes in. I think 4 more left. We will probably have a binged watch by the end of the weekend. That's probably what's gonna happen. So enough about that stuff. I got a message from my good friend Vance, who just keeps sending in the hits. He didn't really ask. Basically now it's just watch this video, pretty much. And he sent me a video about a woman, African American woman, lovely girl actually. And it wasn't just it was a reaction video to this girl's video, right? And she's talking about how white people can fix or discover that they have white privilege. So I assume Vance wants me to discuss white privilege, what it is, do I believe in it, yada, yada, yada. Well, white privilege is a privilege only meant for white people, and it's not something that the modern white people have created. It just exists, okay? I watched a handful of videos on this. And first and foremost, do I believe that white privilege exists? Yes. Yes, I do. I believe that white privilege exists. I believe that we all, yes, we. I'm even going to say me on this one. White privilege exists and we all benefit from it. All of us who are white or who are passable as white. When I say passable white, I am of mixed race, but I am white as rice. I am white and Native American. And I am so white and pale that my grandmother, who was Native, when I was very young, she kept touching my face and touching my arms and telling me how nice my skin was. You have nice skin, Shane. You have nice skin, little Shane. You have nice skin, little Shane. And constantly telling me that. And it wasn't until years later when I started studying Native Studies in high school is when I realized she meant nice because it was white. I am 100% passable, right? You couldn't tell that I was Native American unless I was at, say, a group of natives. And then you could see that I have similar cheekbones, hair color, shape of eyes. But when I'm not around other natives, you can't tell. You really can't see them. In fact, only one person called me out on it. I was working on the reserve. There was a grocery store there, and I needed to get I got a second job because I was trying to pay off my debts as fast as I possibly could. This is, I'd say, 10 years ago. Okay? So I'm working at the store, and my job was carry out. Carry their bags out, push the carts, whatever they needed. Gather carts. It's just this wasn't my main job. I was working for the company I'm working for now, but it was a good part-time job, and they were generous enough to give it to me, right? And they gave me the hours that I could work and had let me work what I could work, and I mean that was wonderful of them, and I'll always be grateful for that. So I'm out working, and some guy goes, "I don't see. Do you live here in the reserve?" I said, "No." He goes, "But you're Native." And at the time, I didn't have my status, right? I had to fight for that. And I said, "Well, I don't even have my status." And he looked me up and goes, "Nah, you're definitely Native." Right? And then he goes, "Sabatis?" I went, "Yeah." And I was like, how'd you know that? "Yeah, you got the same cheeks." And he's telling me about that, right? So I was like, this one guy called me out on it. I was like, wow, okay, great. So then I started thinking, is it really that visible? Or is it just he's an elderly fella, been here long enough? And then that's what I realized. He's an elderly guy. He's lived in the resort all his life. He's seen Sabatises. He's seen the Brooks. He's seen the Pauls. He knows. Okay? He just knows his shit. But it was the only time everyone called out on it. Most times people just think, if I'm Native, they go, "Really?" I had to show one guy my ID. Yeah, see, right there. It was crazy. But growing up, 100% passable as white, I never had the problems that other natives had. Okay? Right? Because you see, one of the things that can define white privilege is, are you followed around stores because people think you're going to steal? No, you're not. Is it easier for you to get a loan for a car or a mortgage? Yes, it is. Do people, will you get pulled over for driving a fancy car? Now, this I think is more in the U.S. If it's in Canada, if anybody out there, African American, Native, whatever, if all you guys, anyone out there has suffered for this, being pulled over just because you were that color, and not white, leave it in the comments or email me your story. I would love to hear it, and if you would let me, I will share it. But, as far as I can tell, that's more of a U.S. thing. I think the U.S. has larger racial issues, okay? I'm not saying that Canada doesn't have racial issues. It just seems the U.S. seems to have larger racial issues, okay? A lot of people think Canada never had slavery. We did. A lot of people think that Canada is, perfect. It wasn't perfect. It still isn't perfect. But are we more tolerant? I would say so. Maybe not so much towards the Native Americans, but that is starting to change and grow over the years. I think, I think things are getting better. But does white privilege exist? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it does. But that being said, this privilege isn't my generation's fault. Okay? This happened generations ago. And it exists because it was something that people were raised in belief, and they just don't realize it's going on. Is it fading? Oh, I believe it is fading. The reason why I believe it's fading is now people are making white people feel bad for being white. Okay? A few episodes ago, I said there are 3 things you cannot, say to be proud of. And one of them was you cannot say you're proud to be white. Because the moment you start saying, I am proud to be white, you automatically get put into the white supremacist group. Okay? You're a racist already because you're proud to be white. Right? Every other race can say proud to be, you can say proud to be black, proud to be Latino, proud to be Native. But the moment you start saying you're proud to be white, you are already got a stigma on you that you are a racist. And in my opinion, that is a form of racism. Because you automatically put us in, the people who are proud to be white in that category. The other thing about white privilege is the other people who, the non-whites, can get very angry and aggressive during these debates. I've had a few debates with a few people who were Native, and I've had a few people who are black, and a few people who are mixed, and a few people who are white. And because I love to stir the shit. This is my channel to vent, but I will talk about this in person with anybody. I love to debate and discuss and to hear people's thoughts and points of views. And sometimes my mind has been changed. Well, one time I was watching, this was in university, and I was watching 2 people discuss white privilege and what it stands for. Right? And this guy from Trinidad looked at him and goes, you have no idea what it's like. You have no idea what it's like to be discriminated against, to be thought of as poor, to be thought of as trash, and to just not have the same privileges and rights as me as a brown man in society had to deal with. And this guy, his name's Colin, and he goes, yeah, I have no idea what it's like to be judged by my color and to have all these assumptions laid upon me. Like, someone just assumed that I grew up in a well-to-do family. That no one has ever judged me for my social status. Someone just assumed that I had an easy life because of my color. And I was like, damn. Because that's how the reverse part of white privilege is. The non-whites get mad at the whites for white privilege, assuming that they lived a privileged life. Now, and this is where white people will talk about how they don't have white privilege. Because if they grew up poor, like I grew up poor, and my friend Colin grew up poor, a few other people I knew that grew up poor, they didn't really feel that they had any privileges. But that being said, they also got their car loan, they also got their bank loan, they also got a mortgage. A lot easier than people who are non-white. They just don't realize it. They don't see it, they don't feel it, so they don't know. A guy on one of the videos I have a link to, okay? He quoted somebody about this little story about the fish, right? And these two young fish are swimming on by, and they come across an elderly fish. And the elderly fish goes, "Hey boys, how's the water?" The two fish ignore him, go ahead, and then stop and go, "What's water?" Because once you're in it and you're raised in it, you don't see it. And that is 100% true, right? People who are going through getting white privilege, it has been a part of their lives so long that they don't realize it's there. Okay? It's like breathing. We don't pay attention to the air unless the air is gone, right? We wouldn't pay attention to white privilege until it's gone. Now, what can we do about it? Well, there's one lady that was on there. She's saying you can analyze your life and blah 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 and go on this big journey. But she was useless. She's about as useful as tits on a nun, right? I'll have the video in my description that you can watch her and this guy's commentary on it. And she's like, "I'm not here to emotionally support you. I'm not here to." Well, why not? You're asking us to go on this journey. You're challenging us to go on this journey, but you're not going to be around to support us. Well, that's kind of a cunty thing to do. What can we do? What can be done about white privilege? I think it's slowly dissipating on its own. I think it's how we can get rid of white privilege is what we're doing now. Is we are raising our children to accept and love all races. We are trying to raise our children to accept and love all religions. And we are raising our children to accept and love all beliefs. And that is what's slowly going to change the world around us. Trying to change it right now as a society is only going to cause friction and, animosity between the races. All right? I'm not saying don't, you can make your own minor changes in your life. If you are a bank executive, and this person has everything he needs to get a loan, but he's black, give him a loan. Make sure he gets it. If this person doesn't have everything he needs to get the loan and he's white, don't give it to him. Little changes like that can happen. But if you're trying to cram it down society's throat about how we need to change everything, that kind of change, well, it's more of an outwardly appearance of change, right? Like, do you remember a long time ago when they were trying to force, the black children to go to school, to go to white schools, right? And when they did that, when they forced it, and that caused a huge backlash, a lot of people got upset and got angry, right? For the adults. Now, the children, in time, grew to accept other races in their school. And that's who you need to focus on. You need to focus on the children. You get a guy in his 60s and you're trying to change him, it ain't going to happen, right? Or it rarely happens. But you take your child who's 6 years old and you take him down and you say, "Look, this is so-and-so. And mommy, why is this guy's skin black?" Well, he's black because he was born that way. There are different races in the world. God made all of our races differently. Yada, yada, yada. If you believe in God. You can say nature. I've always thought that God would show up one of these days so pissed off at us for being racist. I did. I used to believe that, one of these days God would just appear to everybody in the world going, I have had enough of this bullshit. Why are you against each other? Haven't you noticed that you all have the same 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, similar bodies, same color blood? And I just figured skin color, well, variety, everybody loves a little variety. That's my thought. But, maybe I'm wrong. Well, yeah, that's how you want to change white privilege. You want to change it by interacting with children, teaching children, and that's what we're doing. Children are being raised now to most children. I mean, I'm sure there's some people holding out and not teaching the kids this. But, okay, I myself as a parent have raised all my children to believe that color, gender, orientation is nothing to judge someone by. Okay? All right? And of course, I live by that example. I'm married to an Asian. I am to a Filipina. I have taken in my stepson and love him very much. My youngest daughter is of mixed race. I am of mixed race. I have transgender friends. I have gay friends. I have different colored and races of friends. And that's the best way to teach your children, is live by example. Right? But on the other side of the coin is white people, like I said, are getting dumped on a lot. Okay? No, they're not getting refused loans. No, they're not getting, fired because they're white, and they're not having all these just because. But what happens when they chime in on something? Like for Black Lives Matter, okay? I don't agree with that movement. All right? I think they handled it wrong. And if a white person said to them, "Look, I understand what you're trying to do. I understand you're trying to save lives, people, all that stuff, but how you're doing it is coming across as a little bit aggressive, a little bit like, warlike, angry." And if a white guy suggests that, he's automatically a racist. His opinion doesn't count. He is not allowed to express himself. A white guy cannot say, I hate Jim. And if Jim is black, they'll go, well, it's because he's black, right? No, I hate Jim because he's an asshole. Not because he's black, he's an asshole. Assholes come in all colors. Right? Since I'm 100% passable, I got judged as a racist because at my job, a woman walked up to me and she said, I am looking for a guy named Ty. Do you know where he is? And I said, yeah, he's that black guy over there. You didn't have to call his color like that. The fuck? Of course I did. Look, there's 90 white guys. I just completely made it the easiest way for you to find him. He's the black guy right there. That was the. Did you want me to say, well, he has his head shaved. He fairly fit, even though it doesn't work out a whole lot. He's got. I mean, what was I supposed to do? Right? Quick as way. Black guy right there. Bam! You found him. But because I am passable as white, she considered me being racist, and I was a dirty little fucker and I needed to go to hell. But she didn't say that, but that was the undertone there, the little subtle right? So yeah. It's a shitty old world that white privilege does exist. But we as people can slowly get rid of it. Will it be an overnight solution? No. I would say it's going to take at least a generation, maybe 2. But we're heading in the right direction, folks. Getting angry and aggressive isn't going to fix it. Educating yourself, your children, that's what's going to fix it. That's what I truly believe anyway. If you have a different belief on the subject, I would love to hear it. If you have a different solution on the subject, I would love to hear it. All you have to do is leave a comment down below. I want to thank Vance for this topic. He is again put into the draw for a $25 gift card at the end of the month. And of course, he'll be also put into the draw for the $100 gift card at the end of the year. If you want a chance to win a $25 gift card of your choice, all you have to do is 1, subscribe if you haven't already. 2, leave a comment down below. Or send me an email. You can email me at shanehalfyard@hotmail.com. And you can give me a topic idea, ask me a question, send me a video, tell me to go fuck myself. I don't care. It doesn't matter what question it is, what comment it is. If you're a subscriber and you want to be in the draw, that's all you got to do. You can also ask me any question you want, my beliefs, even personal questions. I'll tell you everything you want to know. Even my dick size. That's really want. If you really want to know it, I'll tell you. Yeah, it'll be embarrassing, and I'll get pointed at and laughed at for the rest of my life. But I'll tell you. Anyway, that's it for today. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends. All in all, have a good week. Till next week, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye for now.